So we've got a DAF LF to do again. Apparently it's got more warnings on the dash than my ex-wife, which is quite a lot of warnings. So we'll hop in the cab, see what's going on. Alright, what we're dealing with. We've got SUP filter fault, engine power reduced, engine malfunction. Anything else? Huh. I'd expected more. Right, we'll get JAL test from Eclipse Diagnostics plugged in, see what's going on. Right, let's see what we're dealing with today. Yeah, powers, grounds and car. So we'll do auto VIN identification, see what's going on in ECSDC6, and then make our minds up which way we're going to go with this. With it being SUP related, it's most probably going to be some sort of sensor that's blocked, or who knows, but let's get into this. So we'll do auto VIN identification. We'll jump straight into engine, which is ECSDC6. We've got a fault code reading. And we've got boost pressure sensor, valid data but above normal operating range, and differential pressure for the particulate filter, valid data but above normal operating range. Where are we going to go from here? I think seeing as we've got a differential pressure for the DPF above normal operation, and we've got a boost pressure fault but that's inactive, I think what we'll do is start a regeneration, see if it will perform that, and hopefully it will give us some more faults because it can't perform it apparently. So as you can see, we've got coolant temperature, relative boost pressure, and particulate filter differential pressure now. We'll go and press go on the old DPF button on the dash, and we'll pop back in here and see what's going on. Yes, I'm pressing the regen switch, thank you. Right, so that started regeneration. So we've got 21 millibars, 22 millibars on our DPF pressure sensor, and about 0.2 bar of boost at the moment in the inlet manifold. Let's see how long this regeneration lasts. So it's just kicked us out of regeneration, as you can see. We'll go to fault codes now, and hopefully it'll give us an idea of what's going on. So we'll go to fault code reading. We've got some extra fault codes now. We've got differential pressure sensor EGR valid data but above normal operating range. Well, this is music to my ears because that's exactly where we're going to go now. So we'll turn the truck off, throw the cab over, and we'll have a look at what's going on in the EGR. What we got going on today. Let's try and get in here. Are they blocked or not? I think we'll whip the EGR valve off as well. We'll have a look in here. Let's get this off, see what we're dealing with. Wow. Look at the soot. Look at the build up there. And it's quite oily. I'd say this is going to want a full clean personally. What's it like in here? We'll get this cleaned off. We'll check this port and we'll go from there on this one, I think. We'll just undo this sensor because I can see it being in the way. Well, isn't this port blocked? This brush is amazing for doing these. Now this port passes the cable tie test and we've cleaned this up a lot better than it was, we'll
get all this rebuilt because the customer wants it back ASAP and hasn't got time to have the EGR system cleaned out. And we'll try regen and see what happens again, I think. Get our temperature sensor plugged back in and our EGR pressure sensor. Grab some tools, start the regen.
So the truck's just warming up now. I'll throw some measurements back up on gel test and we'll see what happens this time. So she started her regeneration now. 61 minutes remaining, apparently. Let's go check gel test. So I've added some additional measurements here, mainly around the EGR Venturi EGR pressure sensor. Again, EGR differential pressure sensor, we're running at 22 millibar, which is quite high, I think, for an EGR pressure sensor. Exhaust gas recirculation valve position real and required. Got a 3% difference. Is that anything? No, not really. And we've got our DPF pressure sensor still, our relative boost pressure, which I don't think it had anything to do with, and our coolant temperature, which is quite high, but it is hot. But we'll run this regen now, see how we get on, and see if it lasts longer than a couple of minutes. But I think with that EGR pressure sensor port being blocked, that was our fault. Well, this regen's been going for about 20 minutes now. I'd say that's a fix, really. She's still going and on her way down, so I'll leave it up to the customer to road test. We better get to our next job. Another fine mess I've got myself into this morning. It's an Iveco Euro cargo. Engine warning apparently, so I said, oh, I'll just quickly plug into it while I'm here for you. Yay. Right, so apparently it's got an engine warning on. Let's have a look. So we'll start with auto VIN identification. That always helps. So it knows it's a Euro cargo, and I know it's Euro 6, so 2021 should cover us there. And we've got a engine warning, so we want engine. I take it it's this EDC17. We'll connect to this now, see what faults we've got. We've got a fault code reading. And we've got post heating system, current too low or open circuit. So seeing as we've got this fault with the grid heater, I suppose, we'll go to diagrams and we'll have a look at the engine ECU diagram and see if we can identify it on there, I think. Right, so what do we want? Preheater. Right, so that's the relay for the pre-post heater. That's the grid heater. That should be in the inlet manifold, apparently, but I don't think it's fitted. And that's the relay. So this should have a massive relay in the chassis that looks like that. What sort of values have we got here? 15 ohm coil resistance. So we'll need to see if we've got a 15 ohm resistor, if this is going to go the way I think it's going to go, because there should be one in the wiring harness if it's not fitted with a preheater relay and a grid heater. So we'll have to have a look for that. So yeah, 83 is our pin number on the engine ECU wiring harness plug. That's plug 1, which is the top one, but it'll be the bottom one, I think, because it's upside down. And then that goes through to our live, which is on 74. This supplies our start switch, our engine stop relay, and our fan relay, apparently. Fan relay. Interesting. But anyway, let's go and have a look at the truck and see what's going on. Now, if this had a grid heater in it, it would be bolted in here with 2 posts for electrical connectors. This is just a blank, so it's certainly not fitted with one anyway. So we'll need to get into this wiring harness down here somewhere. Might be at the bottom. Yeah, we might pull it out through the bottom here. That might be our best option. Loads of space in here. Right, that's our plug.
let's just cut this cable tie. And we'll cut this cable tie. And this cable tie. And we'll have this plug off here. Cool. Isn't this more accessible now? So I think we'll start at this connector here and get all this stripped down. So that's 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83. So that's 83. That's the wire we want there, apparently. So this is our wire 83, and I've put the 15 ohm resistor in that now, and we've put that across into the original circuit. So hopefully this will simulate the signal for the 15 ohm coil resistance for the preheater. We'll plug this into the ECU now and see how we get on.
Right, let's go to our ECD17 engine ECU. We'll connect to this now and see if the faults have gone. So we've got a fault code reading, and there we go. All our faults are gone on that now. There's no faults in the engine ECU. We'll just go back to fault code reading. The ECU has no fault codes. The resistor has fixed the issue. Brilliant. Right then, let's get this plug back together properly.
Tidy. Let's get that on ECU. Now we'll put the harness back in the original place and plug it in.
Get me showing up one week after another here. Seems like this channel's turning into the DAF, LF and resistor show, but trust me, that Iveco definitely had one fitted in the harness. Time permitting, I might be able to knock another video out next week. I've got a DAF CF to go and have a look at that needs a bodge doing on the brake pad wear warning on chassis module rear, so we'll see what we can do there. And as always, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like as it really helps the channel. Subscribe if you want to see more from me, and I'll catch you next time.